The Analytics feature is perfect in providing you insight into how your students are using Sutori. We gather stats for every single story created by you and your students. Now, there are two concrete use cases I want to share with you. The first is of a collaborative story I created where I invited 3 of my students as editors. So there are 2 ways you can access the stats. The first is on the story itself. You go to the stats in the bottom corner, click on the drop-down menu, view stats. This is the overview. As you can see, I have general stats about the story. I can see the number of views, useful if I've made my story public, and also an overview of the number of comments. Down below here, this is very useful for teachers who have very specific instructions. So if you want a certain number of images or videos or quizzes, you can have this info directly here. The second thing I want to show you is the times. So you can see how much time each student has spent on the story. So myself, I've spent 22 minutes. I see that Maria and Rachel have been pretty active, while Nick has not been active at all. The quizzes I will show in my next use case, and I can also have an overview of the number of comments. I'm going to go back to my stories page. So the second way to access your stats is to click on the hamburger menu here. Click on View Stats. So it's great because I don't actually have to open up the story altogether. Here I want to highlight the quizzes. I created 10 questions in total, and I shared it with my 3 students again. So if I go to the quiz section, here is an overview of how my students answered the quiz questions. So I see that Rachel has done very well, but maybe Nick and Maria might need some assistance on certain points. So if I scroll down, I get information on how students have answered individual questions. So I see that the first one wasn't a problem, but the second, Nick here, might need some assistance in understanding it. Now, this is an ongoing feature. We are always looking at ways to improve it, so please do let us know via email or Twitter if you have any questions or requests.